Metacognition, there's an interesting word, Latin or Greek. We'll have to look up metacognition, see where that comes from. It's awareness or analysis of one's own learning or thinking process. How often do we slow down and think about how we think, how our operating system works? And my thought on teaching kids as part of their curriculum growing up, every kid has a different operating system. Every kid handles stress and pressure and chaos and getting picked on differently. And my thought is, as part of their curriculum and development, we don't just go in and get eye tests to see if we need glasses, test of our learning disabilities to see if we have ADHD. I think we should learn how our operating system works. Are we OCD? Are we ADD? Are we this? Are we that? I don't know what you think. You just had a child go from 0 to 17 or 18 in the last 10 to 18 years.
18 years.
So what do you think about learning about someone's programming? Would that have helped you?
The bottom line is I don't know. Every generation of kids that I get in here, and they're usually separated. I always gauge them according to who they are at the age of, from 10 years old to about 12 years old. Okay, I have some generations that are just fearful. I mean, like the entire group.
The entire group.
The entire group. I'm fearful about getting hit, doing things. A lot of them grow out of it, especially by the time they're teenagers. And then you get like my newest group. They don't care. They just go at it. I'm just like, wow, okay, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
It's like one after the other. Some good, some bad. Some like to do sparring. Some of them don't like to do sparring. Some love to do grappling. Some of them don't like to do grappling. Do you have to amend your curriculum based on those things? No.
Going through all of it.
Yeah, it's like my kung fu system. It throws a lot of people off because I do mixed martial arts and I have this kung fu system, and people have asked me over the years, why do you continually do kung fu? And I'm like, well, I don't see anybody else changing their main martial arts style simply because of this thing called mixed martial arts. I teach punching, I teach kicking, I teach throwing,
Defense,
I teach ground fighting. Yeah, it's all the same stuff that you would do in a practical environment. I just never changed the name of the system.
Yeah.
So
we have some kids who listen to their coaches, and some adult fighters who listen to their coaches, and others that fight with their coaches and are constantly moving. Like every 2 months or every fight, they might be onto a new coach. Or if they lose, somebody may have brought them up properly. Ronda Rousey, I don't know what her coaching was like when she was on the rise, but the one coach she had, there's been a lot of criticism about him that wasn't the right coach for her, the one that she had when she lost 2 or 3 in a row.
Oh yeah,
I've
listened to his pep talk, and maybe he's the type of coach that is just like, maybe I just need to keep you in a positive attitude. And according to a source, and that's off the top of my head, so we could be a complete rumor. But the game plan that they went in with Holm was not supposed to be what she had followed. The same thing with Amanda Nunez. That was not she had chosen
part of her curriculum.
That was not what the plan actually was. Supposedly, I don't know. There's this one of my members here coined a phrase, and I'm not sure if he borrowed it from somebody else, but he goes, Ronda Rousey and a few other people suffer from what they call the wrestling curse, and what it is these guys who are good at grappling, either wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo, sambo, and then they find out that they can knock people out, and so they give up on their wrestling altogether, and they decide that they're going to punch, not realizing that wrestling, that jiu-jitsu, the ability to take that clinch, stops you from taking more and more blows.
Yeah, I can grab on.
Okay, so it is what it is.
It short-circuited her historical strength.
Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why people give up on what brought you to the table. Latest casualty is Daniel Cormier. He's excellent wrestler. Take people down at will. Did it for the majority of the beginning of his career, but all of a sudden he wants to stand up with John Jones and Stipe. I'm going to say Stipe. I can't pronounce his last name. Miocic? Miocic. I'm going to say Miocic. Stephen Miocic, and he was successful the first time, so he thought he'd go second time, and Stipe just turned around and said, you know what, we're going to try something different. Made an excellent game plan, but this, I believe, Cormier even admitted this, his coaches, his corner wanted him to go back to doing the wrestling, but decided to keep standing up with him, and ended up getting knocked out.
John Jones, too gifted on his stand-up. Did you read the thing I sent you about John Jones's brothers? Both like pro athletes.
Yeah, no, that was
pretty amazing for family genetics, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
3 kids. So, taking one for the team, you know, like a Cobra Kai coach from Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. You got coaches who are excessive. They tell you to take one for the team, win no matter the cost. Have you been up against these types of schools over your past?
Yep. As a matter of fact, there was one notorious one. We were in Hungary, and this was in our team. This was the Ukrainians versus the Russians, I believe, or it could be the Polish versus the Ukrainians. I'm not sure, but the U.S. team was behind the Ukrainian team.
And what type of?
This was we're going to call it pancreation, but I'm not sure if it was if the international league called it pancreation, but it was a pancreation tournament in 2011 world championship.
With what's his name?
With Austin, yeah.
Austin, yeah.
And we all thought we had heard, let him break your arm. Because the
other coach.
Yeah, because
let him break your arm.
Yeah, he was up on points, and the team needed the points. He goes, let him break your arm. I'm just like, wow.
Wow.
Okay. And then there was one
for a trophy or money.
Oh, it's just prestige trophy, yeah. And then we were at one tournament, also a pancreation tournament, where a father said, well, they're only going to warn you for the first punch to the face, so go ahead and punch the face.
Wow.
And he didn't realize, like, I was right next to him, and I says, he's going to try to punch your face. Okay, when he does, take him down, okay, and just handle him. And that's basically what happened, just manhandled.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they're just dads and coaches that are like that. There was one time, and this one you can, if any of you guys on the YouTube channel, if you really look, you can find this. I believe it was 2 years ago. I was coaching one of my kids for a grappling tournament, and anybody's ever coached in a grappling tournament, usually they have assigned areas, and usually you only allowed one coach. And I had coaches yelling over here, coaches yelling over here, coaches yelling over here for the other kid. And I'm trying to get instructions to my student, and I'm like, ref, how many coaches are we allowed here? And they lost it, like as many as we fucking want. And I'm kind of like, whoa, dude, language. He goes, no, what? And I'm just like, and like I said, there's actual.
You just asked a question.
I just asked a simple question. Okay, if they're allowed to have as many coaches as they want, then I'll shut up. And
the ref didn't use the F-bomb. The other coaches.
No, the other coaches did. And then afterwards, they after the match was over, my student won, and I believe he was only 10 years old at the time. The other coach comes up to me and goes, hey, and puts his hand on me.
Oh my God.
And I knock his hand out, and I step out. I said, well, he said, don't put your hands on me. He goes, and he started trying to turn it on me. He's like, I didn't touch you. He said, you absolutely touched me. You do not, you and I had this conversation the other day. If you're angry at somebody, or if you have a dispute with somebody, you keep a distance. This is a respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, can I talk? If it was a tap on the shoulder, and
then you walk away.
and take a step back and say, I need to talk to you. Okay? And I'm like, no, one thing I've learned in real life is you don't let yourself get surrounded. So I stepped on the mat. I had shoes on. Everybody goes, and one of the other coaches on the team, hey, you have shoes on? And I says, you need to stay away from me. You just need to stay away. And it's caught on camera. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
So you had the multiple Cobra Kai coaches coming out.
Yeah. No, this absolutely happens all the time. I've and don't get me wrong, I've not been the greatest sport on the planet either.
You've lost it before.
I've gone off on refs before. Like there was one time I was at a jiu-jitsu tournament, and the scale was broken. The scale was obviously broken. Okay, it was 199 under, above 199 unlimited. So I was under 199, but the scale was broken, so I ended up going to the unlimited. I'm going up against guys who are like 240, 250, and the heaviest person in that bracket was 300 pounds. So my very first match, I bring the referee over and I says, by the way, I have some funky throws, and I showed him the throws. Okay, I do
How'd you
these.
show them? Like by
No, I brought my
footwork?
I brought my partner over and I showed him the throws. I do these throws. I just want you to be able to identify these. He goes, okay, not a problem. So match starts, and I thought I would just have some fun. Very first thing I try is a flying armbar, and it was like, okay, well, that's not going to work. I'm
What, did the guy
Yeah.
throw you down?
no, I got him, but it was like beginning of the round, so he's very strong. And
It
I thought I
wouldn't work.
made,
You couldn't tap him.
yeah, I couldn't get him, so I let go of the arm. And usually what I do is I let people try to pass my guard, and as they pass my guard, I'll do a transition where I stand up. And when the guy passed my guard, they go, "That's 3 points for the guard pass." I go, "What? What he didn't even solidify a position yet." Then he stepped over in the mound. As soon as he stepped over in the mound, I rolled him, but they gave him 4 points without being able to hold him, so that he's currently up 7 points. And then I accidentally let him get back up, and as he got back up, I went for a throw. Okay, I ended up in the top position, but he got 2 points because the referee thought that he initiated the throw, and I says, I even showed you this. That's
So
how
did you stop the match and tell him this? or
No,
afterwards?
how do you stop it in the middle of that match? I'm like looking at the ref, going, what the heck's going on here? Okay, and
You're getting hosed, as it were.
well, I look over at my my corner, and I go, what's the score? And it's 11-0. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to get caught up here. So pass the guard, that's gonna be 2 points. Side control, 3 points. Go to the mount, 4 points. Have you done your math yet? 9 points.
9 points.
9 to 11. Time.
Oh,
And I just took a deep breath, and I said, you know what, that's just the way competition goes. I was
That's
like,
the way it
okay,
goes.
not a problem. The guy's coach comes up to me and goes, you actually won that match. I was like, you know, don't go into competitions without expecting
the opposite.
the opposite. You know, I go to these, it's, you know, you have to be prepared to lose via these situations. Okay? Only to have the ref walk over 2 seconds later and goes, you know what, you shouldn't enter these competitions if you're not ready to lose. And I'm like,
Holy smokes.
wow.
You stepped into some bad karma there.
Yeah, so I let it go.